The governor's executive order on medical marijuana took effect 5 weeks ago, but Kentuckians who want to use medicinal marijuana still need to travel out of state to buy it.
That's right. LAX 18's Evelyn Schultz traveled with another local journalist, Karen Czar, to Illinois to get a firsthand look at the process. She joins us now with what she learned. And Karen has said she's watching right now, and she really appreciated the story.
Well, we really appreciated her inviting us along on this journey. And my main takeaway was just how many barriers are still in place for Kentuckians with medical issues to access marijuana for treatment. Many people can't afford to travel hours across state lines. Others are still worried about potential legal issues, which are there. And then keep in mind, doctors can't prescribe medical cannabis, so patients are really left to try it and see how it affects them.
The round-trip drive from Lexington to Mount Vernon, Illinois is more than 300 miles along Interstate 64. The route runs through Louisville and across state lines, taking nearly a full day and multiple tanks of gas. We made the journey 3 weeks ago, all to end up in this unassuming parking lot right off the highway.
I'm nervous.
This is Thrive Dispensary in Southern Illinois. Shoppers here can buy marijuana for both recreational and medicinal use, depending on where they live.
It was a big choice to come and try this.
But for Karen Czar, this trip wasn't about getting high. She decided to travel to Illinois after Governor Andy Beshear's executive order on medical marijuana took effect January 1st.
Good morning. I'm Karen Czar for 91.3 WUKY.
Czar is a reporter for radio station WUKY. You've likely heard her voice on the early morning airwaves.
In 3, 2, 1.
She also has multiple myeloma, a type of cancer that affects blood and bone marrow production.
This is WUKY News.
She was diagnosed earlier this year. After multiple rounds of chemotherapy, Czar's doctors say she's on the right track.
On chemo days and the day after, we have to add in a steroid.
But that doesn't mean she's not struggling with the side effects of treatment. Cancer has kept her out of the field as a reporter and off stage as an actress.
Because of my neuropathy, if I'm sitting for too long or I can't drive for very long.
In January, Czar asked her doctor for paperwork documenting her cancer diagnosis, hoping marijuana might be the key to dealing with side effects like tremors, nausea, and appetite loss.
But if this is the difference between me getting back to theater, getting back to field work as a reporter, it's hard to say no.
As a first-time buyer and journalist, Czar decided to document her experience and invited us to travel with her.
Cool. We did it.
We couldn't take our camera inside because of Thrive Dispensary's privacy policy, but we were able to record audio as an employee helped her decide which products to buy, choosing from a large digital display. Czar is not an Illinois resident, so she can only buy marijuana intended for recreational use. It's slightly more expensive, and there are certain restrictions.
Right here, though, you are allowed half the amount of an Illinois resident.
Okay.
So you would get 15 grams of flour and 250 milligrams of an edible and 2.5 grams of a concentrate. So you can get in all three categories.
Okay.
So you said that gummy, right? You're interested in the gummy.
Yes.
Her options ranged from flour to edibles, even savory snacks. Czar decided on THC gummies and a topical cream.
I really hope this does help you, though.
Thank you.
About 20 minutes later, Czar paid $106 at checkout and tried both products before we hit the road.
So we're going to try this where I can't feel my feet, and so we're going to see if that does anything.
It was almost an hour later when Czar discovered the cream was making a difference for the numbness in her leg.
It's still tingly, but I can feel weight on it now, and I have now a perception of how far I'm lifting it up.
Despite the relief she's gotten, Czar still has concerns about consuming cannabis. Medical marijuana remains illegal in Kentucky, and transporting it across state lines is against the law. Czar also worries using pot could impact her ability to access a bone marrow transplant if she needs one. But she finds herself hoping state lawmakers will soon legalize medical marijuana in the Commonwealth so Kentuckians like her can buy it closer than hundreds of miles away from home.
When I took that pill and or the gummy rather, and we were driving home and I could feel my leg again, I just wanted to cry. And there are people suffering every day. in that tiny little gummy is going to make a difference for them.
Czar has her own version of her story airing all day long on WUKY. You can listen to that for her perspective. There are truly so many angles that go into this story. We could spend weeks and months covering it. Kentucky's neighboring states of Ohio, Illinois, like you saw, Missouri and West Virginia have all legalized medical cannabis. Kentucky has not. Each of those states will have different rules. So it's not as simple as just showing up, buying some marijuana. We also spoke with the nonprofit Kentucky NORML. They are working to reform marijuana laws. They're also trying to educate people about what is legal in Kentucky and what is not. They want people to know until medical marijuana is legal in Kentucky through legislation, there are risks
To doing
to participating.
So doctors can't legally write a prescription, but does a note help from a doctor?
So you have to have one of about 21 different ailments, and your doctor gives you that note saying they have this condition. They're not prescribing medical marijuana, but that is the note that if you were to get in trouble, get arrested, that would be the note that you would use to hopefully get a pardon through the executive
saying
order.
that you're doing it not just for recreation, but for
Exactly.
medicinal purposes. Evelyn Schultz, thanks so very much.